Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey there, it's Jackie Bro.
And I'm Dunlap. Hey, everybody.
It's been one hell of a week, everybody. I know y'all been watching like we have. It's going to look back this week in history, be one of the most significant weeks in American history. And I tell you, I'm enjoying living through it right now. Yes, sir.
Are you still talking about George Jones being dead?
No, I wouldn't be. I ain't happy about that. No, I was.
Because last week
sad.
you were real sad.
That's right. And now this week.
Did you remember something he did to you? Or
what? No, we didn't. It ain't got nothing to do with George Jones. Let the man rest. We put him down. Let him rest. Let that go. Trying to hold on to it too much. I got his music to enjoy. That's all I need. This week I'm talking about Obama, Benghazi.
Oh, hell.
What do you mean, oh, hell? This is a week here, I'm telling you right now.
What does that mean?
This is like when the foundation went out underneath it. It's going down, buddy.
Underneath what foundation?
Just everything falling apart, crumbling apart for Obama administration. This was a week that started it all.
Wow.
We've had a lot of, I've said this before a few times, I'll be honest. Throughout his presidency, I said,
but this is the one.
This is the one, yes. This is the, yeah.
And it's all because of Benghazi.
Well, once that, you know how it is, like a house of cards. Once one thing goes, everything else shows up, too.
Did you watch House of Cards?
No, hell, I ain't watching that.
Benghazi's going to bring Obama down, finally. Oh, thank God. What is Benghazi?
What do you mean, what is it?
I don't know. I hear people talking on TV, and my ear pricks up because I'm like, they're talking about something bad about Obama.
Right.
And then it just gets so boring.
Well, sometimes the facts and the truth are not exciting.
Like in church.
Well, some stuff in churches, yes, I know, but, it's still good for you.
Like Benghazi.
Right. Well, no, Benghazi's bad.
For Obama.
For Obama, that's right.
But good for us.
Good for America.
Unless you were trying to understand
it.
If
those four, and I know I don't mean to speak for them, and I've seen their folks on TV and everything else, but those four poor souls, American souls that were lost in Benghazi, if they knew, I just say I would put myself in one of their shoes if I knew it was going to be the ultimate demise of Obama. I think those...
You'd sacrifice yourself.
Yes, sir.
Well, you can do that right now. You ain't got to go over there to wherever Benghazi happened. You can just throw yourself in front of a car
well,
and
what
say...
good? That ain't going to do no good. That's just me. No.
If you pin a note to your chest, say Obama was driving...
Ain't nobody going to pay attention to that.
To a dead old man
with
on the side of the road.
All right. Yeah, what I'm saying is those four poor American souls, citizens, they don't realize it, probably, but had they known that they had sacrificed their lives to put Obama out, I think that's a worthy, noble venture. On their parts, even though, bless the souls, they didn't know. That's what nobody's there to help them. That's the whole point. Nobody's there. They had to die for no reason. But now, a bigger reason that they didn't know about at the time.
So you're telling me Benghazi has stuff to do with people dying?
Yes, sir. Yes, of course it does. What do you mean, people dying? Yeah,
I don't know.
Four Americans died.
I thought it was about emails.
There's emails in it. Yeah, look, 4 people died, and then the White House said they died over this. Well, no, they didn't die. No, here's why they died. No, that ain't it. No, here's why they died. Nobody still knows why they died. There wasn't no reason for them to die, except, like I said, to put Obama out on his butt.
Well, they are definitely heroes.
Well, absolutely. Yes, sir. Absolutely. American heroes.
I mean, already, I guess, If they were, so they were in the embassy people.
Yeah.
And then Obama.
No, according to Obama, everybody got mad over that YouTube video. Everybody's so mad over YouTube video. And that's why it happened. That lie, bald-faced lie, American people.
So nobody was mad about that video?
Well, I don't know. Who knows? Who's to say?
It didn't have anything to do with
it. Ain't got
Benghazi.
Nothing to do with 9/11, does it? It ain't got to do nothing with anniversary, Al-Qaeda, terrorists.
Here's where it gets boring to me is because anytime you see the Jay Carney talking to a bunch of angry reporters, if the reporters, here's how you can tell if a story has any impact on actual Americans' lives, is by how mad reporters get. If the madder reporters get, it's got less to do with actual Americans, typically. Maybe not in this case. What? I'm just saying that's like Washington Insider, like, press club politics, and when they're just like laid back and chill, like, hey, is the economy going to be okay or what? Like, I don't know. All right, see you at, the Murphy Brown bar.
What? Yeah, usually it's like that. Yeah, but 4 Americans died. It's what they ought to be mad. They ought to be up in there.
The reporters ain't talking about the Americans. It's like, you said this happened, and then there was a thing in the email, and there was whiteout. And who said what to who? Who's covering up? They don't want people to find out this happened and then whatever email it. As far as I can tell.
But look, I understand what you're saying, and they have to go through all that rigmarole to get to the bottom of the fact that 4 Americans died for no reason. And this administration just sit back, and they'd still be making stuff up if they could.
Just spell it out for me in a way I can understand. Obama.
They called for help, and then they
called
said,
Obama.
But not well. He knew it. He had to know about it. I say that much, whether they called him or not. Of course, can you imagine trying to call Obama from help? They must not wanted none if they called that man.
Hey, you're talking about 4 people died.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They were told one thing. Look, they called up and said, we need some help. And then they said, oh, no, we can't get there. Sorry.
So they screwed up, left them hanging.
Yep.
And then they start writing emails about it, and that's where the real crime occurs.
Well, they making up stuff. They keep changing the story every time.
So it's just how are we going to get Americans to rise up and tear down the foundation house of cards like you want when nobody can listen to this without falling half asleep? It's like Iran-Contra. I remember I was a kid, Iran-Contra. That was supposed to be some big deal. Oh, I remember mad reporters in a press briefing and being bored watching Dan Rather.
Well, Iran-Contra a bunch of rigmarole stuff. They didn't tell Reagan what was going on. He thought one thing, and then come out. He said I was wrong. At least he, come out and admitted it.
That makes me mad.
He didn't change the story over and over again.
Poor old Reagan.
He didn't know what was going on. They tell you one thing and do something else.
So they were just leading him around, misleading him.
Misleading him around everywhere
taking
else.
Advantage of his good nature.
Pitiful. Now, and see, all the scandals over here, Iran-Contra, nobody paid no attention to that. Nothing really come up. But, why would you? If Reagan didn't pay attention to it, why should we? Right?
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
I took my cues from him.
That's what I said. We did. All right, let it alone. Nobody
he never
cares.
seemed too worried about it.
No, he sure wasn't. Now, see, Nixon messed up. Now, Nixon, that's when all this stuff started. Right there, Watergate, all this stuff started, cover-ups, this and that. Nixon cared too much. Nixon worked too hard. He just way over there. He come out right at the beginning and said, they broke in this place. I didn't, they took some money from here, this, that. I didn't know. I did know, and I'm sorry. It'd be over with. He just kept making it worse. Just kept shoveling more money this way and that way, covered up this way, covered up that way. Too many people got involved, and there it goes. But if he just come out in front of it.
Cut him off at the pass.
Cut him off at the pass. Nobody, we wouldn't be talking about it today.
If he'd come out in front of it wearing like some cowboy clothes.
Why?
Like acting tough, acting more like
Old Nix didn't have to look tough. He miserable all the time anyway.
But imagine if he'd come out, like you're saying, your theory, if he had just admitted it, the Watergate wouldn't have happened, he'd finished his term. But imagine in that speech to the American people, if they'd done it in the backyard of the White House, and he rides into frame on a horse, and he's wearing like a buckskin, look like Jeremiah Johnson.
When?
Maybe he's growing a beard.
He always growing a beard. He couldn't help that. But no.
With a little length on it, though.
Well, he ain't got to dress up like that. He's president. He ain't got to do that.
Well, I'm just saying.
I see which I'd like to see that.
It could have helped.
It wouldn't have hurt.
He went to the Grand Ole Opry.
Well, yeah, he went on laughing.
He did. He wasn't above.
That's true. Well, you got a point.
Now, I don't know if in the early 70s there was a show called like Celebrity Horse Riding or something. Like
you had he could have been on Rawhide or something. I mean,
Bonanza was still on.
That was still on, yeah. He could have come on Bonanza and said, by the way, little Joe.
Paul, let me introduce you to my friend Dick.
He's on there, and he explained he feels bad about Watergate and tells Laura Green how bad he felt. Laura Green forgive him. The whole damn country would have. You got a point there. There wouldn't be a soul wouldn't shed a tear.
Oh, man, don't give Obama no ideas, because nowadays they can cut you up and put you in old movies. Like
Obama's, look at the kind of TV shows he's on. Ain't nobody going to watch that.
What?
Obama just goes on. Saturday Night Live people shows, all that stuff. That's what he's always going on. I don't care. It ain't funny to me. It ain't funny when he's on there. It makes it worse than it already is.
So if he showed up, but think if Obama cut himself into a Bonanza episode and Lauren Green's like, they have like somebody do a Lauren Green impression like they do, and they go, you know what, Obama, I forgive you for Benghazi. He's like, well, thanks a lot there, Mr. Cartwright.
No, it ain't going to happen.
It wouldn't help?
I don't know. It wouldn't help.
It'd help. If Obama on Bonanza would help. Obama on Bonanza would help.
First thing wouldn't seem right, and it's going to sound like I'm racist, and I'm not. They didn't have black people on Bonanza that much.
He could be from a foreign land.
Well, I'm not saying
he is from a foreign land.
He is already.
Oh, man.
See, just remind people, it ain't going to help him being on there.
We're political satirists.
Well, anybody says they're satirists, they ain't no good.
That's usually clue number one.
Yep.
So Obama comes in. Maybe he's riding in from like England. He'd have to do an accent, but he could do it.
I don't know.
Well, he's got friends that could teach him. He knows all them actor people.
He knows all his friends are foreign. You're right. It wouldn't take him too long to pick up on it.
So he comes in and he's riding in, and he's from a foreign land. That explains why there's a black guy talking, like an equal to Lauren Green.
Now, listen here, though. Listen, difference, though. Now, Nixon went on Bonanza and said, forgive me for Watergate. He like him breaking into a barn or something. And like, I broke into the barn and see how much hay you had in there. That'd be like what he would do. Now, Obama on Bonanza, ain't the same scandal. That's going down to town, shooting 4 people in the face, and then going to Lauren Green and said, I'm sorry. 2 different things to say I'm sorry for. I don't know if Lauren Green could forgive the other.
No, here Obama wouldn't shoot the people in the face. Obama has a crew riding with him, a posse, of criminals and lowlifes. And Obama's in the saloon talking to Miss Kitty. Am I mixing up the shows?
Miss Kitty.
Whatever. Maybe she's on this one, too.
That's Gunsmoke.
So he's in the saloon talking to Miss Kitty from Gunsmoke. And his thugs and idiots in charge and czars are shooting people in the face. Or maybe there's criminals. Okay, his posse's in charge of keeping these people from getting shot in the face, and then some outlaws and bandits ride up and shoot people in the face. And they're like, well, Obama from England, why did you not, your idiot people did not stop this.
Didn't stop. Okay, I see where we're going. Didn't stop.
And then Obama's like, well, they sent me a telegram, and then they'll be like, well, when did the telegram arrive?
Well, back in it'd take a little longer. Back in he'd have an excuse because telegram now he got an email go through
Obama
computer.
wouldn't have an excuse. He'd have like a spokesman, like Gabby Hayes, maybe cook. He's like camp cook, and he's a spokesman. He's like, well, I don't know. There's a back and forth between the people and the.
Well, Obama be like, who killed them people down there? And he say, they mad about a barn dance they had 2 weeks ago. Made everybody mad. Had a big old barn dance.
Right. You know how Muslims hate barn dances.
Oh, yeah. They don't like any kind of dance as far as I know.
And anyway, before this gets too boring, Lauren Green rides up and says, everybody just stop. This guy is, worst case scenario, uninformed, ill-prepared, and a poor president.
Well, yes, sir.
Everybody applauds, and Lauren Green rides. I don't know where Michael Landon is or Dan Blocker.
That's different. That's different show. We've already mixed them all up, hell. Anyway, none of that.
But if that happened, America would go, first of all, it would be the first, they still wouldn't connect it to Benghazi because that's pretty cloudy. I don't know if that tracks. But if you put had a crawl, like a Star Wars crawl at the beginning, saying this is supposed to represent Benghazi, dun, 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 going up like in a triangle, and then people would say, and they'd watch the show, and after the end of it, they'd go, now what is Benghazi?
Well, that's what too many Americans are doing today, right there. That's what you described.
Watching Bonanza.
You watch? No, they're flipping off the news and putting it on Bonanza when they bring up Benghazi. And I understand the choice, Benghazi or Bonanza. You probably put it on Bonanza.
Lauren Green, first of all, would have been a very good newscaster.
Oh, he made the
best.
And
he anchored.
He was the best. He was good up till he did that, like you said earlier. He did some Star Wars thing, and he wasn't good after that. And he died soon after. But before that, when he was on Bonanza and just had dog food, yeah, he was good. There wasn't nobody better than Lauren Green.
Trusted him.
Yeah, trust him. That's what, right? Yeah. We ain't got Americans like that no more.
The thing, Iran-Contra, when I remember about learning about that, it'd be like on Murphy Brown. Somebody make a joke like, "Oh, Iran-Contra." I don't have a good Murphy Brown show no more to teach you about the
Murphy
news.
Brown wasn't good to begin with. She's too big for her britches. I never did care for it.
Yes,
it's
sexist.
Always. Well, I don't mean to be sexist. Just making a point about it. It beats you in the head with it all the time, and then try to be funny about it. I didn't like it.
Well, she can't help it. She has opinions. She's a modern woman. She don't have a baby.
That's you talk about I'm talking about the actress. Everything else.
You don't like Candice Bergen?
She's still messed up in the head growing up. A dummy for her brother. Messed a little child up. And some people say, she never was right. Did terrible things all through her career, and you trace it back out.
What terrible things all through her career? What'd she do?
Just name something good she did.
She taught me a lot about Iran-Contra.
Well,
everything I know, basically, which is you can use it as a punchline in it, like, hey.
In a liberal news show, yeah. Woman doing whatever she wants.
That Eldon was good.
I don't know.
He was the painter that lived with her.
Had a baby out of wedlock.
Hey.
Well, everybody does it nowadays. Nobody cares. Parents.
You blaming it
parents
on
no more.
Dan Quayle blaming that on Murphy Brown?
No, Dan Quayle. I just saying it wasn't no big deal then. Now it's become
Is he still alive?
Dan Quayle.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't he?
What's he do?
He just retired like Bush,
Does he get a library?
No, Dan Quayle does not get a library. He wasn't president. He's vice president. Vice president get libraries too? Hell.
I don't know. It seems like they should get something. Because what do? They
don't have to do nothing. They was vice president.
Hell, I don't know who. Okay, is Walter Mondale still alive?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Does it really make a difference if he's alive or dead?
It doesn't.
No.
Hell, I'll go you one better. Is Al Gore still alive? I mean, I would think we would have heard something, but does he have people that even check on him?
Al Gore's still out there. Al Gore's alive. You know what? He on TV blabbing how he's richer than Mitt Romney.
Oh, right.
He
yeah,
sold.
he
He
was on
sold his TV show. Nobody watched to terrorists.
He got all this terrorist money.
And now, like, I'm richer. Look at me, showing off. He's still alive.
Well, I'm just saying, after he divorced Tipper, he probably just holds up and eats for 2 or 3 weeks. I
Now
mean,
he got all the money. He ain't got to leave. Go nowhere. You're right there.
if nobody checks on him, I'm just saying he could have a heart attack, which is likely, and it could be 2 or 3 weeks, and his cats would eat his face before anybody even knows he's dead.
At least he was good for something.
So, I guess Benghazi's gonna be the downfall of
It
Obama.
is. Yes, sir, it is.
Just
That's
like
how I see it.
Iran-Contra was the downfall of Reagan.
Well, no, we already talked about that. No. It wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't.
It was not the downfall of Reagan.
But listen to us. We're talking about Reagan right now and Iran-Contra. Second word out of your mouth.
You brought it up. It wouldn't have been normally when we talking about scandals. So Iran-Contra come up first. Then, of course, you got to say Reagan.
I was writing some great Obama Bonanza fanfic before you started trashing our greatest president.
How can anybody write a good fanfic if all they got to base on comparisons, funny jokes about Iran-Contra from watching damn Murphy Brown? Ain't nobody gonna watch Murphy Brown know how to write anything good.
Remember at the beginning of Murphy Brown when they'd go in that bar and everybody'd say, "Shut the door."
I didn't watch Murphy Brown.
They dropped that.
Well,
Corky.
what?
Wasn't that her name? Corky Sherwood? Whatever happened to her?
I don't know. I thought you was talking about Corky. He had
What?
his own
Who's
show.
dead?
Life goes on, Corky.
No. It was that there were 2 Corkys on TV in late 80s, early 90s. One was blonde.
Well, I only remember one.
We could name cast members of Murphy Brown and former vice president or vice presidential candidates and see who's alive and who's dead. But
I don't
I'd
know
have
why
to-
anybody would want to do that.
well, I got some time to fill. How much time we got left on
I
this?
don't know. He's trying to talk about Benghazi,
I don't.
and you get on all these old TV shows.
I don't know what it is. I can't talk about
Oh,
it if I don't know what
it's
it
like
is.
you trained a thought. As soon as we start talking about it, 5 minutes in, you
It's boring as hell. I know they're trying to tell me. I'll admit I'm wrong. I know on Fox they're trying to tell me. They're trying to get me to care. They're trying to tell me how important it is. It's
It
the
is.
downfall of Obama.
It is, yeah.
They're shaming the other news networks for not covering it
That's
that
right.
much. I know I'm wrong. But it's like going to church again. You preach. You can preach at me. You can tell me I'm going to hell. You can say you need to get up and go to church. It's Mother's Day. Do it for your mama.
yeah.
But I'm just going to lay there and jack off.
Hey, watch your mouth. I ain't gonna listen to that.
I'll have a hangover.
You just like the rest of America.
In what way?
It not paying attention.
Oh.
But this week, the tables are turned. I'm telling you, more people are. It ain't like it used to be. This is a week that we'll look back and remember what took Obama out.
Like the week before July 4th, 1776.
There you go.
When everybody was finally just realizing we need to be free.
Yep,
And then next week, guess what? July 4th happens.
that's right. Free. We're gonna be free again too. So y'all, all y'all like you, everybody acting like I don't know what it is. This that. And I know you Republican. There's some good Republicans out there that ain't necessarily paying attention, but I tell you what, as soon as they kick Obama out in his butt, you'll be sitting there going, that's right, Benghazi, like the rest of us.
I will jump on that Benghazi bandwagon.
There you go.
Obama Bonanza Benghazi bandwagon.
All right.
I'm a satirist.
Yeah.
Hey, just because I don't know what's going on, and just because when you tell me what's going on, my attention span is too short to pay attention, does not mean that I won't support you in overthrowing the president.
There you go. As long as we have everybody's support.
I don't need to know exactly what's happening to support you.
As long as you know it's heading in the right direction.
All I need to know is the goal.
There you go.
I don't need to know You going to drive me to Las Vegas? I don't need to know the route. I just need to know we're going to wind up at the Hooters Hotel.
All right, I get your point. Yes, all right. If more Americans we can get you on board just that much within Benghazi, then we're doing all right.
You talk to your navigation system. I'm going to doze off because I took some pills. When we hit Las Vegas, you wake me up and say, we're here. And I'll go, Benghazi. Thank God,
All
Benghazi.
Right. All right, you got, yes.
I'll sign a petition.
Well, when that day comes, Obama's
just wake me up
on TV saying, "I'll see y'all later. Sorry, I didn't do a good enough job."
Let me know. Right. I'll DVR it.
Right.
I tell you what I did pay attention to, though.
Yeah.
It's IRS scandal.
Oh, hell.
That got my attention a little bit more.
Well, yes, sir.
And I'll tell you why. Because all these Tea Party groups, they've been applying for a nonprofit status.
Right.
And the IRS has just been hassling them. It's been years and years. Like any group, Tea Party, Patriot in the name, and they have to provide all this information, just like resumes and private stuff, Facebook passwords or pics or something. And I watch this, and I can't believe it, Jackie. I just can't understand why I did not think to start a Tea Party group and get nonprofit status before.
What?
I am an idiot. I didn't know you could be a Tea Party group and get nonprofit status.
Well, that's like getting what you want. I mean, that's why you Tea Party to begin with.
So they all started to get, like, tax exempt. Like every Tea Party, that was the first thing they did.
A Tea Party don't like taxes. That's what it's all about. Don't you know it? Yeah.
So they're enemies. So you wouldn't start a Tea Party group to pay taxes.
Why the hell would anybody do that? The two don't go together.
So if your enemy is taxes in the IRS, I mean, they're going to be like, well, these guys are our enemies, but we have to treat them fairly. They ain't going to do that.
Well, evidently not.
Especially with Obama up in there saying, hey, these are my enemies too, taxes.
Well.
Go get them.
That's what they did.
But he's not auditing them, right?
He didn't audit them. They're just making them, dot every I, cross every T,
So if you show up, if you say, hey, I started a group called I Love Muslims and Hate America, and
I'd like look the other way. They say, yes, sir, you don't need to pay taxes, not you.
I tell you what, we need to cut you a check.
Yep.
We owe you money.
That's right.
Or if you started a group like, I love the Antichrist, who is Obama.
Yep.
They'd be like, here's your, hey.
Fill out this form. Here's about 4 more God give you.
Yep.
It just 2 months later, pitiful.
It's a shame. But
it is.
If I had known that the Tea Party groups were that smart, we might have supported them earlier. Because there was a time when we liked what they were saying.
I never did. Listen, and this just, I know in olden days, you're supposed to listen. That's how people dress back in. And they, Benjamin Franklin, as we all know, a very smart fella. But if you dress like Benjamin Franklin today, I usually think something wrong. I don't like those outfits. I always hated Paul Revere and the Raiders. I don't like people who dress in those clothes. It just sends me, like, to my mind, and, something ain't right.
Like, you didn't even like an episode of Bewitched.
When they bring back somebody, no, it always bothered me. In regular, just if it's that time, that's okay. But I don't like people in regular clothes and then people like that mixed together. Always rub me the wrong way. It don't seem right.
He doesn't like, Jackie won't go to the Renaissance Festival.
What the hell am I going to go to Renaissance Festival?
He just doesn't like to see people in cargo pants and then people in knickers.
No.
Bothers him.
Yeah.
So that was why maybe if we were reluctant to embrace the Tea Party.
Well, they did that and had tea bags hanging off the head. This, things like this.
Signs and yelling.
I supported what they were calling for and this and that, but I wasn't going to go sit around with them, dress that way. I wouldn't be out in public, nobody like that.
Somebody might see you.
Well, yeah.
But now it's more.
Well, I have better understanding. It's like when you go to it's what it is now. It's like when you go to a football game and you put paint on your face and this and that. You just excited,
That's better
for
than
your team.
Right.
And now I know Tea Party's team is Team America.
So you're slowly coming around to it.
Well, getting used to it, learning to tolerate it. It still bothers me. It ain't got nothing to do with politics, nothing at all. I don't like to see old-timey clothes and new clothes, people dressed the same way all
You
in the
wouldn't
same
go
place.
to Colonial Williamsburg.
I ain't got no interest
You
in
don't
that.
even like to see, like, a Hall of Presidents.
Well, that's different than robots. That ain't people up there drink. It's like, that's different. That's something like a museum or something. Hall of Presidents.
So you don't mind a
robots.
museum if you go, like, Natural History Museum, and
Well,
here's the Pilgrims, and there's some dude
if they ain't moving like, I don't like it when I'm trying to explain it. I don't like it when people from today are dressed up like people in the older days. I don't like it. If it's like a dummy stuff, just stand there like here these were pilgrims or these were Indians and they're pointing at whatever, just standing still, that don't bother me. I don't like it when somebody walks up to me dressed in old clothes talking funny. I don't like it.
So you wouldn't go see Mark Twain live or Abraham Lincoln one-man show?
I wouldn't care for it, no.
That'd be hilarious. For your next birthday party,
Oh, all right.
I'd hire a bunch of... First of all, have you ever had a birthday party? Can't
I've
imagine
had-
it.
Well,
But I should hire a bunch of Abraham Lincoln impersonators, come around, walk
I
around,
know.
and like poke you and go, "Hey, motherfucker!
hey, watch your mouth. I don't care what they dress like. They don't talk like that.
Here I am, right in your face. What are you gonna do about it?" Like, "Hey, I'm Paul Revere."
I don't want any. I don't like that stuff. I like the people in real life and
Like
like
if
on
you went-
History Channel. I like watching that because nobody else around them dressed.
But
Regular.
wait, westerns. We were just talking about Bonanza. That doesn't bother you when they dressed up in westerns?
Because it takes place in Western times. That ain't a mixture of the two. I don't like it when people go through time and still dressed the old way. They come in or people space. I don't like any of these things space usually. I don't like it when it's together. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want to have to keep telling.
What about on Quantum Leap when Sam?
I don't watch Quantum Leap. I don't watch that stuff.
You never watched one episode of Quantum Leap.
It was on down. Now listen, Star Trek sometimes would do it. I'll be the first to admit it. Sometimes they go back in time, but I'd follow that story. But usually when they did go back in time, they didn't keep their space clothes on.
No,
They got the clothes on of the time
The
they was
gangster
in,
suit.
and it didn't bother me. Do you understand?
I see. They're like
Star Trek get away. They knew how to do it. Everything else, I don't care for it. I don't like it when there's two time periods. Everybody dressed in the same,
You don't
clothes
like
of
it,
that
but that's
time.
like one of the best parts when times get mixed up. And the olden times people go, "What manner of garments are these?" That's the best part.
I don't care for it.
Oh, man.
That's just me personally.
All right.
And I don't want the Tea Party to take that personally. It's just a thing that I have that I'm learning to get used to.
You're working through it.
That's right.
So we support you, Tea Party, in your ongoing battle with the IRS.
Yeah.
Just like we support Wesley Snipes.
Well, I don't know about that one, but
Which brings us to our sponsor this week.
I am.
We like to get $25 from sponsors, approved sponsors, people we know in the neighborhood and in the city, and they give us $25.
Yeah,
and we
helps
talk
us.
about their
Helps
helps
us
keep the lights
keep this
on
thing.
and
Also helps y'all go on there. That what is it? iTunes, whatever rate it.
iTunes. Go on to iTunes and rate,
Rate a review.
review it,
Yeah,
rate it, download it, subscribe.
all these little things evidently help keep this going.
Well, honestly, $25 is nice.
Well, yeah, that's better
when we
than-
get a good sponsor like we got this week. Tax Whiz. All this going on in the news
Yes, sir.
about the IRS
Yep.
and them targeting tax Tea Party patriot groups, hassling them, harassing them. Then they come out and they apologize.
Apologize. Yeah, right.
Like that's going to make it better.
Yep.
When has an apology ever made anything better?
We ain't even got that much out of Obama for Benghazi.
Benghazi, the IRS, Obama. There's so much for this country to apologize for.
Yep. Well, not the country.
Well, the half.
Well, okay, I'll give you that.
The bad half.
Yeah.
But this is for the good half.
Yes,
the good
sir.
half that says when the IRS apologizes to me, I don't want to accept it. How can I not accept this apology? Well, I know exactly who you need to talk to. Oh, Dom Podge.
Yes,
he
sir.
runs Tax Wiz right off the square down there in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. One of our friends, neighbors, longtime sponsor. His motto is it's all legal. He knows all the ins and outs of tax code and tax policy. He is a minister. He still runs that church in the Burger Queen parking lot.
Yeah.
That empty space nobody ever did anything with.
He's still doing that, yeah.
He is an accountant
Yes, sir. Yeah, he knows, yeah.
and a militiaman. Short Mountain Militia.
Knows a little more than most people.
That's who you want when the IRS comes to you to apologize.
So if you're here in Murfreesboro and you've got a little startup nonprofit Tea Party organization, which how many we got around here, would you say?
4,000 or 5,000?
Something like that. There's a different one every day. So just another reason it's hard to know exactly where to lend your support. Just I give it to them all in general. But yeah, there's
When you say Tea Party, it's kind of like saying I go to the Pentecostal church. Well,
Yeah.
which one?
Yeah.
Because they all fighting.
Right. But all these people, they've all been apologized to. All these little startup Tea Party nonprofit groups. IRS come out and told them that they're awful sorry. But here's the thing, see, you do not have to accept that apology.
Legally, you are not required to accept that apology.
Nope.
So if you come down to Don Podge, Tax Wiz, he will bring all your receipts. That's important too. Bring your receipts. It's always good. Every time you go see Don Podge, just bring your receipts. You go down to office Staples. Go down to Staples and get you one of them like accordion files. Just get in the habit of just sticking your receipts at the end of the day, maybe once a week. You clean out your wallet or your purse, just putting them in there. Write Don Podge on the side. Anytime you go down and see Don Podge, whatever you're mad about, even if you just are wondering about hiding out on the compound, maybe somebody's after you, just go down there, but take your receipts with you. And then you'll lay them all out on the table, and Don Podge will say, you know what? You don't have to accept their apology. And he will give you a framed, the certificate says, I do not accept your apology.
The frame is a little extra. It ain't
The
much.
frame is $15 extra.
Yeah.
But the certificate is free.
Yep.
He will consult with you. But the thing is, he will make sure that you really don't want to accept it. Because legally, when they get you in court and they get your hand on the Bible,
Yeah.
and they trip you up, them Obama lawyers. Eric
Absolutely.
Holder in there. He knows just how, are you sure you don't want to accept our apology?
Yeah.
And you go, I don't. Are you perjuring yourself, Mr.
Right.
or Mrs. Freedom Lover?
You don't want to find yourself in that situation.
No. So go down to Don Podge, get the certificate. $15 extra for the frame. Hang it up on the wall. It makes it look nice.
Oh, yeah.
That way, if the IRS brown shirts bust down your door, say, we demand you accept our apology. You say, look here, you son of a bitch. Right on the wall.
I went and saw John Podge.
You can take that to the bank.
Yep. So, yeah, that's about as good a sponsor you could have.
Old Don Podge.
My sponsor this week, I got a good one. It's kind of a bittersweet, but it's a big going out of business sale.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, but the deals, you can't pass this up. It's going out of business sale. Little Helen's, and from what I understand, it says here, let's see, everything's 75% off, going out of business sale. And it says here, 80% off on trade-ins. So get on down to Little Helen's. Sad to see them go, but make sure you take advantage of this great sale going on down there. So going out of business sale. So yeah.
What is Little Helen's again? Why don't you tell the listening audience what?
It's a place of business. Don't you start again. It's a fine establishment, a place of business that unfortunately in this economy, what Obama has done to this country is going under, and they're trying to make the best out of it and try to help the consumer as well as themselves get through this terrible time. Little Helen's is having a going out of business sale. And that's all you need to know. That's it.
Normally, I would agree with you that any business going under bound to be Obama's fault.
Sign of the times. Yes, sir.
I mean, you can walk down the street and see that in every corner.
Boarding them up left and right.
In this case, I might suggest that the reason Little Helen's is going out of business is because nobody knows what the fuck they do.
Oh, hell, watch your mouth. Don't start. You don't know because you've never been down there. That's
you
why
been
you
down
don't know.
there?
Nobody went down there.
Because nobody knows what's down there.
Well, it seems like it'd make you curious to see what it is. It ain't but a little trip. Just go drive down there and see what the hell it is. And while you're at it, get a hell of a deal at the going out of business sale.
Let me just recap
Oh,
for our listeners.
don't
First
start
time
again.
Little Helen's was on the show, Jackie, at the request of Big Helen, who's
Personal friend of my family. I've known her come to the store for years. I know Big Helen. Goes to the same church. I know her all my life.
you don't know Little Helen.
I don't know Little Helen, but if she's a friend of Big Helen, she's a friend of mine. And we're supposed to take $25 and have for a sponsor.
We didn't know what Little Helen's was.
Well, if Big Helen said is a fine establishment, there's no reason for me to doubt it. She had nothing but fine things to say about Little Helen and her store, market, whatever it is.
Could be a restaurant.
It may be a restaurant. It could be. And she gave me $25. All I was supposed to do is tell people about it, and I did.
Second time Little Helen's was sponsored, she had a coupon.
Had some coupons in the paper.
Said,
Said,
look
would
for
you
'em.
give me $25? Let people know about that. And I sure did.
Coupons, no real information about what happens at Little Helen's.
Big Helen come in the store last week, gave me $25. Said, Jackie, I'm sorry. It's the last time I'm going to be do this, but would you help us out one more time? And I'm happy to do it. That tears in her eyes. Bless her heart. Big Helen loved Little Helen to death.
I ain't questioning Big Helen's love for Little Helen.
Well,
I'm questioning maybe the marketing strategy.
oh, hell, it's going out of business, so you ain't got to worry about it anyway. You probably over there dancing a jig about it. Just as pleased as could be. That place I don't know nothing about is going out of business. Good for them. Well, to hell with you.
Well, you talk about like it's a wonderful curiosity. Oh, it's wonderful. What could it be? What about the darker side of curiosity?
Oh, hell, it ain't nothing. What is Big Helen going to be mixed up with anything in a satanic arts for? You said ain't tired of it's devil stuff. Ain't got nothing to do with no devil stuff. They don't.
I didn't even say devil stuff this time, but you don't know what it is, and your mind automatically goes to it's devil stuff they're
hell,
selling.
They ain't selling
It's
any
probably
devil stuff.
pentagrams and candelabras.
Enough. They give me $25. They're going out of business. Ain't you happy enough? Why they got to run their name in the ground
It
for
could
with
be
all this
sex
devil
stuff.
talk?
It could be weird
Big Helen
motorized.
ain't going to tell me to
Maybe
do
that's
an
why she
advertisement
didn't
for
tell
no
you.
sex stuff store.
She never told you what it was because she's
I know
ashamed.
that woman all my life. She ain't going to have nothing to do with any of that.
Maybe she's Little Helen's AA sponsor.
Oh,
And Little
hell.
Helen, like,
She
goes,
ain't in none of that. She don't drink. Just let it go. They're out of business. Be happy. Be happy. You don't have to talk about it anymore. Just
I want to be happy.
Be
but
happy with yourself.
it's going to close down, and I will never have known.
75% off
Somebody
everything
just-
going out of business sale, and 80% off on trade-in.
Go
so if
down
you
there.
going to trade in, take it down there,
What
trade
are
it
you
in.
going to trade?
I don't know. It says right here, 80% off on trade-ins.
What do you even take down there?
I-
Is there a phone number to call?
Enough.
Are they in the yellow pages?
I'm sorry. I'm going to give his $25 back to him. My Lord knows that they need it more than we do.
Well, when you go down there to do it, see what the hell they got on the shelves.
All right.
Or in the kitchen.
All right, enough. I want to hear about it. Asked me, could they be a sponsor? I said, yes. I took the money, and I did what I was told to do. I'll give them money back because you did nothing on here but run them down.
Trade-ins? Well, you just load up your car with everything. You'd have to take your mobile home down there. How would you even know what to... Oh,
All right.
there's no tax whiz.